White guilt.
Let's talk about it. Well, and okay, that brings up a question too, because during the Trump years,
Yeah, those blessed, wonderful years.
yeah, I got rid of a lot of Facebook friends,
Yep.
including my first cousin,
Mm-hmm.
who I love.
Yep.
But she would never think she's racist, but she was just putting out like Newt Gingrich stuff and just different stuff. I was like, dude, like, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I don't want Joey to grow up thinking that I support her. So I just cut us off.
Right.
But then that's not me having a conversation with her, not continuing to have so what, do you get rid of those people, or do you keep them in your lives and you continue the conversation because just getting rid of them doesn't change their mind.
Right.
So what do you do?
It's a tough one. I think this comes down to the individual, but I am a cut them loose kind of person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote a blog post about this at Trump's initial thing, so my view will be obvious, I guess. But I wrote this thing, I love zombies. Anyone who knows me knows I love zombies.
Right.
There's always a zombie, right? There's always a zombie comparison somewhere, a
Right.
zombie analogy. So in this instance, my analogy was we are all safe. There are zombies running around out there, and it is horrific and terrible. But we are all protected in this one house. We have all the things we need, but nothing extra. We just all are surviving, and it's okay. But if you were to say, hey, if I just go next door to get something better, I know for whatever reason you cannot leave this house, but I'm going to go next door and get something better. And I know by doing so, I got to leave the door open, so zombies might come in and kill you, but it is worth it to me, then you're a And so the idea was that people who would say, look, I know that, like, I'm not racist, and I know there's harm, but it doesn't have to be that way. You're leaving the door open for zombies. And so I think when you say, now, it's one thing if these are people you don't know or care about.
Right.
And that is the case sometimes, right? You live in a homogenous town, and it's just all white people or black people, and your vote is to protect the people around you. I get that maybe you're not paying attention to people outside.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say that I am your friend and that you care about me, but then you're willing to throw me to the zombies so that you can get a little bit better because that person's always, they shoot from the hip, they're telling the truth. They don't feel that way specifically, but I know everyone around them does, but I can't be worried about them. You're literally throwing me the zombies and you don't care. And I can't keep those people in my life. So for me, it's hard. I think that it is true because on the other end, one of my favorite Zen koans is that a disciple says to a monk, when we die, where are we going to go? And the master says, well, I'm going to hell. And the other monk says, why are you going to hell? And the master says, well, how am I going to teach you? No one to teach in heaven, right? And so I think there's this idea of keeping those people in your life to help educate them, but that's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, the other people around you see that you were laughing and giggling with your racist friend, and we don't really talk about that stuff, so it's okay, but I see you're hanging out with your racist friend, and I know with 100% certainty that anything goes wrong, I get thrown under the bus. I can't be your friend either, right?
But but is there a happy medium? Like, okay, so my cousin, and again, she's not like overtly racist, but
right.
But hope she's not watching this.
I can guarantee she's not.
But okay, but if I don't throw anybody under the bus, I hold her feet to the fire.
Yeah.
But I don't shut the door.
Right.
And I continue to have these, and she might shut the door on me.
Right.
And like right now, I've shut the door on her. But how the hell do we bring people together if we don't, because she loves Joey.
Right.
But she hasn't made the connection between the two. So
yeah,
how, can I be is some of the work to help her figure out the connection, not throwing Joey under the bus, but doing the opposite of staying in her life so that maybe.
Yeah.
Because the other alternative is I shut the door. She doesn't have conversations with anybody except the Trump-loving people, and then that's the only and she watches Fox.
Right.
So then that's her only education. So she's not talking to anybody else, and she's not reading the books, and so how in the world does a little bit of that get in?
I don't know if a little bit of it does, which is sort of right. I mean, I think that we can take that on. Not saying no one to take it on. This becomes a personality thing.
Right.
You want to, there are religious missionaries all over the place that are going to try to change people's mind about the Word of God.
Right.
You can change people's minds about religion and race and sexuality. You can. Some people you can't. And you also have to decide for yourself how much of that work that you want to do. But I think for me, there is doing it as work and doing it as right, your cousin.
Yeah.
If I know that this is the kind of person that she is, and Joey knows this is the kind of person that she is, seeing you guys go drinking and dancing and stuff makes it seem like you're okay with it.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of this becomes what you do in public, right? So if there are people who are look, we all did this during Trump in particular, but I think we do it through a lot of religious cycles. We find out who our friends are and we cut them loose, at least on Facebook. But we can have a conversation about it. We can talk about these things. I'm not trying to throw you to the wolves, but we can't have a public friendship anymore, right? It is much like the black square. I need to let people know that I am a safe space and that I am listening and I am an advocate, and I can't do that giggling with you, right? And so I think it really comes down to a matter of if you want to try, great, but I still don't think that means that you get to comment on your Facebook post together and post pictures of you guys together drinking margaritas. I think your public persona is that this is who I am, and you can't be a part of that anymore. And that, at least that's my answer for it. I've been in the middle of the conversation where white people being racist, and then I'm like, what the? And they're like, not you. We're not talking about you.